So I'm going through my garage and I found 4 fuse boxes and I remembered why I kept them. So a lot of times you're dealing with the aromatic system on a R class, ML, or GL for the 164 body or the 251 for the R class. Okay, so that goes from 2006 up to 2012 for the ML and GL, but then in 11 one model stopped, and in 12 the new 166 came out. So the GL ran 1 extra year. But what happens is you guys are out there replacing the aromatic system, whether it be the pump or the fuse or the relay or shocks or whatever, and you end up replacing the relay. But you go to a parts store, you buy the relay, you put it in. Now all of a sudden the car runs for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then as soon as the compressor comes on, the car shuts off. All right, here's what's happening. So you are buying a relay, an aftermarket one, and let me see if this shows this on here. Here's a diagram. Let me get my face out of the way, okay? See that arrow or a triangle with a line? That's a diode. That means one way. That means it's only flowing in the way of the arrow, okay? Now, I'm no electrical engineer, so don't judge me on this, but relay works as normal. When terminal 85 and 86, hope this focuses, 85 and 86 get power, or 1 and 2, depending on the numbers on the bottom, it pulls the switch down and it closes between 30 and 87. Now, this 87A is there to prevent voltage spikes. So what's happening is you're getting an aftermarket relay that does not have a diode, right? So as soon as that 5th terminal at the bottom touches the power or it's activated, you are blowing the ground strap that's inside the circuit board. And what's happening is you're losing ground to the engine relays and or the starter relay because they all share the same ground to activate the relay. So as soon as the air compressor relay kicks on, it's basically sucking ground from the rest of the relays, shuts the car off, all right? So all you got to do is replace the fuse box. Open up the bottom, and you're going to find the strap is blown off the bottom of the circuit board, right? I call it circuit board. There's really no circuits in here, but it's a circuit board. It just, all the paths for all the fuses and everything, okay? Here's the thing you got to watch out for. They updated it. See the bottom here? They changed it, okay? However, if you're looking on the case, you're going to see a part number. That part number is not the part number of the fuse box. I believe it's the part number of the case. So when they're making these things, every individual piece has a part number to it, and they assemble it, and it becomes a different part number. So the part number is not on the fuse box, all right? So I went through this with a customer before, and we went through 4 fuse boxes trying to figure out what was happening, and then we decided, let's just trace the circuits, right? So if you look at these, the one thing that's different is, see the ground strap, where am I at? Okay, so the ground strap's over here, blown. On this one here, the updated one, there is no ground strap. But what do you see next to the big metal strap? There's an extra terminal, all right? So the big metal bar and an extra terminal. So what that is, on the bottom of the fuse box, actually on all of our Mercedes fuse boxes, they're labeled. See MR, let me get the light in here. MR1, see it? MR2, MR3, and MR4. So they're labeled, all right? And on the pins, I don't know if you can see it in there, they're all numbered, okay? All of our stuff is very easy to identify. When you're looking at a fuse box, I'm going to assemble these 2 halves. That terminal comes out of MR4 pin 2, all right? On the other one, when it's assembled, there is no pin. They modified it to where the power for the air compressor is a different line coming out, right? So they don't have that same issue with the fuse box blowing. So essentially, when I tell people to test their car, I say, if you start the car and it runs a couple seconds, and as soon as the compressor kicks on, the car shuts off, pull the aromatic relay out. If you can no longer start the car, that's your problem. Not the relay, but the blown ground strap inside. All right, so this, again, this goes from the R class from 06 to maybe 09. I think somewhere in 09 or 08, or in between the years, like a half the year, 6 months in, that's when they change it to the new fuse box. All right, so you got to just pay attention to it and check on the bottom. If you have the updated fuse box, you don't have this issue. So essentially, if you have the issue, you have the older fuse box, and you have to be careful which one you're buying. All right. So again, this is for the 164 chassis and the 251. It's for the ML from 06 up to 2009. And then same thing with the GL. They changed them the exact same time. But the ML and GL stopped production. GL ran one more year before the new GL came out, right? So in 2012, it was the last year of the GL, but in 2011 was the last year of the ML, all right? But hey, I hope this helps. I just wanted to make a quicker video and explaining what's happening, because there's many reasons your Mercedes will start and die, but if you just worked on the aromatic system and replaced the relay, you got a blown fuse box, all right? So you guys take care.